in 7 Texans are struggling to put food on the table, and that includes college students. It's one reason the University of Texas at San Antonio created the Roadrunner Resource Room. Our Amber Hughes takes us there for an inside look.
Well, another week, another close game for the unpredictable Dallas Cowboys, but this time the ending was cause for celebration.
Yes, it was. After a loss on opening night to Tampa Bay, Dallas bounced back with a field goal victory Sunday against the Chargers. And it was due in part to kicker Greg Zuerlein. He overcame his shaky performance last week to deliver on a 56-yard field goal, giving Dallas a 20-17 victory. The Cowboys will look to get their second straight win next Monday when they take on division rival, the Philadelphia Eagles. And I know you're going to be so pleased when they win another game, since you're such a big Cowboys game.
One game. I'm just glad that the head coach didn't blow it with his mismanagement of time.
I knew you
yesterday.
had something to say about it. I knew it.
It's a win.
It's always fun. Thanks so much for joining us for this hour of Spectrum News 1. Tonight, the federal government is looking for ways to challenge Texas's restrictive abortion law. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland making that announcement yesterday, saying violence against anyone seeking an abortion in Texas will not be tolerated. Department officials are working with the FBI and Texas attorneys to enforce the so-called FACE Act, which bans people from threatening or blocking someone from getting reproductive services. Meanwhile, some Texas border states are seeing an influx in people traveling across state lines to get the procedure. But not everyone has the money or resources to make that long trip. And that's why some groups are taking up collections to fund their travel. Jamil Donath joins us now. Jamil, you spoke with some of the groups helping people get abortions. What did they tell you? This is video from a San Antonio airport where Haitian migrants were taken today. More than 300 were flown back to Haiti yesterday, and more flights are expected later this week. These migrants have been sheltering under this bridge in Del Rio. There were more than 14,000 migrants waiting there Saturday. Oh. What a great story there.
I love what he said. He said those bucks, those Broncos and those Bulls don't care what color you are.
They don't.
They respect anybody who gets on.
Absolutely. They can feel their presence. They can feel that positive energy. It's a great story there from our Robbie Vaughn. And he said that he may not have finances, but he's rich. He's rich in experience. And so many people don't know about the story of Cowboys of color. I mean, I can tell you my own family, I'm no stranger to a horse. Love it. Love everything about it. I found my boots.
All right, we're going to have to see some video.
Yeah, perhaps.
Let's see.
How do we heal today and the days moving forward?
In terms of healing, I think that will have to be a personal decision and a personal effort. You heard Gloria talking about the controversy in terms of how the community is going to move forward in remembering the lives lost on 9/11. But I think each of us has to make a decision and be challenged considering what comes next for us. And I think each of us has to take time to reflect on that fateful day and how it impacts us personally. I think we also have to honor the lives lost and those for whom their lives will be forever changed. Along with that, I think it's important that we actively participate in ways of keeping American lives safe. I also believe that we do have to teach future generations the significance of 9/11 and how it continues to affect our lives. 9/11 was a unique disaster. It occurred on live television. They targeted American businesses and governments, and it claimed the lives of everyday people doing everyday activities like boarding a plane, taking a flight, going to work. So for a lot of people, it was hard to wrap their minds around what happened. There was a RAND survey shortly after 9/11 where they found that 44% of Americans were experiencing symptoms of extreme stress. Those in New York City, it was 61%. But in the days and weeks and months that followed, for the most part, people begin to feel hope again, begin to feel a sense of resilience again, rebounding from the trauma of that day. There were some individuals who did experience post-traumatic stress, not wanting to be in large groups like Gloria mentioned earlier, not wanting to get on a plane, looking for exits, checking around themselves. But for most people, believe it or not, we're gritty, you know, we are hardy, and though it pains us and though it is a tragedy, we have the ability to rise above traumatic events.
It's just the weight, I guess. The weight kind of hurts just a little.
Matthew Lord talking about life without a father. The Sealy High School senior says being raised by a single mother has been tough, but it hasn't stopped him from pursuing his goals, including going to college.
It's just I knew I was going. I was determined. I knew it was going to happen.
And it's happening, thanks in part to the Brothers in Arms Scholarship for young athletes raised in single-parent homes. That's a scholarship between Texas Longhorn legend Vince Young, Houston Texans QB Deshaun Watson, NFL Hall of Famer Warren Moon, and Heisman Trophy winner Andre Ware, who were all raised by single mothers.
It's gratifying. It really is. It's exciting for me to reach back and help those that grew up like in a similar manner that I did with a single-parent household.
It's an effort other Texans are noticing and support.
I think it's a beautiful thing. You know, there are a lot of kids out here that feel that because of their circumstances and the way they're growing up and the house they may live in, that certain things wouldn't be afforded to them. But it's beautiful to see real sports legends, even somebody that's currently doing this thing like a Deshaun Watson, showing them that just because you come from a certain lifestyle and a certain upbringing, that you can't have the world in your hands.
Matthew found out he won the scholarship during a phone call from his football hero, Vince Young.
He just told me he liked my story, and it was awesome.
Matthew and two other recipients received their scholarship at the 3rd Annual Houston Sports Awards, where supporters celebrated and recognized Texas talent and inducted Olympians Mary Lou Retton, Rudy Tomjanovich, and Carl Lewis into the Houston Sports Hall of Fame. Lewis had this message for Matthew.
Dream and just don't stop until it's absolutely cannot happen.
Something Matthew plans to do. He says seeing so many athletes at the awards show who overcame adversity motivates him to do the same.
Sky's the limit. You can do whatever you put your mind to, no matter the circumstance. You just got to have your mind set on a goal and get to it.